She was supposed to be the savior of the British monarchy, the perfect, smiling, flawless princess who stepped into the void left by Princess Diana and made the royal family relevant again. But right now, Kate Middleton, the Princess of Wales, has vanished. This is not a scheduled vacation. This is not a routine break from royal duties. This is a complete, terrifying, and unprecedented blackout. The woman who is married to the future king has gone completely silent, and Buckingham Palace is panicking. They are running out of excuses, they are running out of time, and the public is finally realizing that the darkest secret in the history of the modern monarchy is being hidden right in plain sight. When the news first broke that Kate Middleton had been admitted to the hospital for abdominal surgery, the public accepted it. People get sick, surgeries happen, but almost immediately, the whispers began. Because in the royal family, nothing is ever as simple as a press release. The palace initially claimed the condition was non-cancerous. They said she would be resting for a few weeks and would return to public duties after Easter. It all sounded so routine, so perfectly managed. But then, the days turned into weeks. The weeks turned into months. And Kate Middleton, one of the most photographed women on the planet, was nowhere to be seen. No blurry paparazzi shots, no waves from the back of a luxury SUV, just an eerie, deafening silence. To understand the magnitude of this disappearance, you have to understand the machine that is the British monarchy. The royal family does not just rule, they perform. Their entire existence relies on a fragile illusion of stability, duty, and perfection. They are the ultimate reality TV stars living in gilded cages, paraded out for the public to adore, envy, and ultimately fund. And for over a decade, Kate Middleton has been the round jewel of that operation. She never puts a foot wrong. Her hair is perfect, her smile is radiant, her wardrobe is meticulously curated. She bends down to speak to children. She launches charity campaigns. She cuts ribbons with a grace that makes it look effortless. She was the steady hand guiding a family that has been rocked by scandal, humiliation, and chaos. When Prince Harry and Meghan Markle fled to America, tearing the institution to shreds with allegations of racism and neglect, it was Kate who held the line. She was the image of unflappable calm, but that image has shattered. When a future queen vanishes for months without a single live appearance, the world knows something is catastrophically wrong. The palace tried to control the narrative. They released a handful of highly curated, heavily edited photographs, and that is exactly where their perfect plan fell apart, exposing the terrifying reality of what is really going on behind palace walls. The Mother's Day photo. That was the moment the global facade cracked. The palace released a picture of Kate sitting on a garden bench, surrounded by her 3 beaming children smiling radiantly. It was supposed to be a simple peace offering to the public, a reassuring nod that said, "Look, she's fine, she's resting, go away." But the internet does not forgive and it does not forget. Within hours of the photo's release, photo agencies around the world issued an unprecedented kill notice. They recalled the image, claiming it had been manipulated. The sleeves of Charlotte's cardigan didn't match up. The background was blurred in unnatural places. The alignment of Kate's face looked like a composite of 3 different images. It was a sloppy, amateurish forgery. And the backlash was nuclear. If the palace was willing to release a fake, digitally altered photograph to prove Kate was healthy, what else were they lying about? The trust evaporated instantly. The public realized they were being played by a desperate PR machine. But the photo wasn't just a PR disaster. It was a glaring, flashing red siren pointing to the palace's darkest secret. Because think about it, the Princess of Wales, a woman with unlimited resources, a literal army of staff, and access to the best photographers in the world, could not produce a single, authentic, unedited photograph of herself. Why? Because Kate Middleton is not sitting in a garden smiling. She is not recovering quietly at home. The truth is far more sinister. The palace is hiding the severity of her medical condition. When King Charles was diagnosed with an enlarged prostate, they announced it immediately. When he was diagnosed with cancer, they told the public within days. They used his illness to generate sympathy, to show that even the king is human. So why the absolute ironclad secrecy around Kate? Because Kate is not just a side character. She is the future of the monarchy. She is the wife of the next king. If the public learns that the future queen is incapacitated, suffering from a severe, life-altering illness, the entire institution plunges into an existential crisis. The stock market of royal relevance would crash. The public would begin to ask terrifying questions. Who is running the show? Is Prince William ready to be king? Can the monarchy survive if its most popular figure is permanently sidelined? The truth that the palace is desperately trying to bury is that Kate's condition is far worse than a routine surgery. There are whispers from inside the corridors of power that the surgery did not go as planned. There are rumors of complications, of secondary diagnoses that were not expected. The word cancer has been thrown around by insiders, not just as a possibility, but as a devastating reality. And if that is true, Kate is not just hiding, she is fighting for her life. When a human being undergoes severe trauma, when they are pumped full of medications, when these are terrified for their future, they do not look like the polished princess on the balcony of Buckingham Palace. They look exhausted, they look vulnerable, they look broken. And the royal family cannot afford a broken princess. Their entire brand is built on the illusion of invincibility. They cannot show the future queen looking frail, hooked up to machines, or stumbling out of a hospital ward. It would destroy the myth. So, they locked her away. They isolated her in Sandringham, surrounded by security, cut off from the prying lenses of the paparazzi. They thought they could wait out the storm. But they underestimated the panic of a woman who has been silenced. Imagine the psychological torture Kate must be enduring right now. She has spent her entire adult life being told what to wear, how to smile, when to speak, and where to stand. She surrendered her autonomy to an institution that demands perfection in exchange for a crown. And now, in her darkest hour, when she is facing her own mortality, that same institution is refusing to let her be human. They forced her to take the blame for the edited photograph. In a shocking move, Kensington Palace issued a statement claiming that Kate herself had experimented with the editing. They threw the future queen under the bus to protect the reputation of the palace's PR team. They made her the scapegoat for their own incompetence. This is the darkest secret of the royal family. It is not a hidden will or a secret bank account. It is the brutal, dehumanizing way they treat their own flesh and blood in the name of survival. And Prince William? The man who is supposed to be her rock, her protector, the love of her life, he is caught in an impossible, crushing vice. William is terrified. He is watching his wife suffer, unable to protect her from the disease ravaging her body, and equally unable to protect her from the merciless machinery of the crown. Every time he steps out for a public engagement, his face is a mask of barely concealed agony. He goes through the motions, shaking hands, cutting ribbons, but the light in his eyes is gone. The trauma of losing his mother at a young age is bleeding into his present reality. William knows better than anyone how the public glare can destroy a person. He watched the paparazzi chase Diana to her death, and now he feels the public and the media chasing his wife, demanding to see her, demanding access to her pain. But William is also a prisoner of duty. He cannot abandon his royal obligations to sit by Kate's bedside 24/7. He has to hold the monarchy together while his father, King Charles, is also battling cancer. The House of Windsor is quite literally under siege from within. The top two heirs to the throne are incapacitated, and the institution is teetering on the brink of collapse. And into this vacuum of power, the vultures are circling. The silence from Kate has given Prince Harry and Meghan Markle the ultimate vindication. For years, they warned the world that the royal family was a toxic, abusive environment that chewed people up and spat them out. They spoke about the mental health toll, the lack of support, the relentless pressure to conform. And now, the world is watching it happen in real time to the woman who was supposed to be the perfect royal. Harry and Meghan don't even need to say a word. The palace is destroying itself. Every day, Kate remains hidden. Every day, the palace issues another vague, evasive statement. The Sussexes' accusations are proven correct. The British public, who once branded Meghan a traitor, are now looking at the silent missing Princess of Wales and wondering if she is the latest victim of a system that demands everything and gives nothing in return. But what happens next? The monarchy is running out of road. They cannot keep the Princess of Wales hidden forever. Eventually, the silence will become so deafening, that it will threaten the very existence of the crown. The public funds this family. They pay for the castles, the security, the lavish lifestyles. In exchange, they demand transparency. If the royal family refuses to provide it, the social contract breaks down. There are dark rumors swirling that Kate may never return to her full-time royal duties. Some insiders are whispering that her condition is so severe, and her trust in the palace so completely shattered by the photo scandal, that she is considering stepping back entirely. If Kate Middleton walks away, even temporarily, the monarchy as we know it is finished. Prince William cannot carry the institution on his back alone, especially while dealing with his father's illness and his wife's trauma. The spare is gone, living in California. The working royals are aging. The future of the crown rests entirely on the health and happiness of a woman who is currently locked away, silenced, and fighting a battle the palace refuses to acknowledge. The palace's darkest secret is not just that Kate is sick, it is that they are willing to let her suffer in silence to protect a dying institution. They are prioritizing the survival of the crown over the survival of the woman who is supposed to wear it. And that is a betrayal of catastrophic proportions. The world is watching, the silence is deafening, and the fairy tale is rapidly turning into a nightmare from which the royal family may never wake up. What do you think is really happening to the Princess of Wales? Do you believe the palace is hiding a devastating medical truth, or is there an even darker secret being buried behind those castle walls? Comment below with your theories. If you believe the royal family needs to come clean and tell the public the truth right now, hit that subscribe button. We are uncovering the secrets the palace desperately wants, hey? Hidden, and you need to be here when the next bombshell drops. Stay vigilant, stay informed. The truth always comes out. But wait, the layers to this story go even deeper. We have to look at the timeline, the exact sequence of events that led to this unprecedented blackout, because when you piece it together, it paints a picture of a royal household in absolute crisis mode. Let's rewind. Late last year, Kate was highly visible. She was attending royal events, looking radiant, carrying out her duties with the signature Middleton poise. There was no indication, no whisper, no visible sign that anything was wrong. Then suddenly, out of nowhere, Kensington Palace drops a bombshell. The Princess of Wales has undergone planned abdominal surgery. Planned, that was the word they used. They wanted us to believe that this was a scheduled, routine procedure. But if it was planned, why was there no warning? Why did William suddenly cancel a string of public engagements? If it was routine, why did she end up staying in the hospital for nearly 2 weeks? Routine abdominal surgeries do not require a 2-week stay in a private, highly secure wing of a London hospital, guarded round the clock by armed police. The reality is, the surgery was likely an emergency response to a sudden, terrifying discovery. Perhaps it was discovered during a routine scan. Perhaps she collapsed. We don't know. But the palace, true to form, tried to sanitize the narrative. They thought they could control the story, put a lid on it, and wheel her out in a few weeks good as new. But the human body does not adhere to PR timelines. And then, just days after Kate's surgery, the bombshell drops that King Charles is also in the hospital. The dual hospitalization of the two most senior royals sent the British media into a frenzy. But notice the difference. Charles's condition was explained, his procedures were detailed, and he even waved to the cameras as he walked out. Kate, not a single frame of her entering or leaving the hospital was captured. The palace orchestrated a complete blackout of her movements. Why go to such extreme lengths? Because Charles's illness, while serious, is manageable in the public eye. He is the king. He is an old man. The public expects the elderly to have health issues, but Kate is the young, vibrant future. Her illness is a threat to the narrative of continuity. Fast forward to the weeks following her discharge from the hospital. The rumors began to spiral out of control. Social media became a breeding ground for wild conspiracy theories. People were speculating about everything from a botched Brazilian butt lift to a coma. The internet was filled with hashtags like #Where is Kate? The palace's strategy of silence was backfiring spectacularly. They were losing control of the narrative. So, in a desperate bid to quell the panic, they released the now infamous Mother's Day photograph. And that single image did more damage to the monarchy than a decade of scandal. Because it wasn't just a bad edit, it was a window into the desperation of a royal household willing to deceive the global public. When Kate finally released a personal statement taking the blame for the edited photo, apologizing for any confusion, it only made things worse. The statement read like a hostage negotiation. Like many amateur photographers, I do occasionally experiment with editing. Amateur photographer? This is a woman who has access to the world's greatest portrait photographers, who has a dedicated team of digital media experts. We are supposed to believe she was sitting in her pajamas on a laptop, clumsily using the clone stamp tool to fix her daughter's sleeve? No. That photograph was created by a professional, or at least a senior aide, under direct orders from the palace hierarchy, and when it blew up in their faces, they forced Kate to fall on her sword. They made the sick, recovering princess take the blame to shield the institution from further embarrassment. It was a ruthless, calculated move, and it revealed the true nature of the royal machine. They will protect the crown at all costs, even if it means sacrificing the reputation and mental health of their most valuable asset. But the dark secrets don't stop at the medical cover-up and the photo scandal. There are deeper, more troubling whispers coming from inside the Windsor walls. Some royal insiders are suggesting that Kate's sudden illness and the subsequent fallout have caused a massive, irreparable rift between her family and the palace. The Middletons, Carol and Michael, have reportedly descended on Sandringham to be by their daughter's side. They are fiercely protective of Kate, and they are reportedly furious at how the palace has handled the situation. The Middletons have always been viewed with suspicion by the royal establishment. They are self-made millionaires, commoners who dared to marry their daughter into the aristocracy, but they have always played the game, keeping their heads down and supporting the institution, until now. Now they are watching their daughter suffer, and they are not playing by the palace's rules anymore. There are rumors that Carol Middleton is the one who has locked down Sandringham, refusing to allow certain palace aides access to Kate. She is taking control of her daughter's recovery, isolating Kate from the toxic influence of the royal PR machine. If this is true, it represents a massive internal power struggle. The palace wants Kate out, smiling, performing. The Middletons want Kate hidden, safe, and healing, and Prince William is caught in the middle, torn between his loyalty to his wife and his duty to the crown. This is the ultimate royal crisis. Not since the abdication of Edward VIII has the monarchy faced such an internal meltdown, and the public is watching every second of it unfold. The British monarchy is built on a foundation of myths. The myth of divine right, the myth of superiority, the Métis, H of the perfect family. And Kate Middleton was the ultimate mythmaker. She was the commoner who became a princess, the woman who tamed the prince, the mother who gave the monarchy a future. But now the myth is crumbling. The curtain has been pulled back, and the Wizard of Oz is frantically pulling levers, trying to maintain the illusion. The truth is, the palace is terrified. They are terrified of what happens if Kate never fully recovers. They are terrified of the Republican movement gaining momentum. They are terrified of the day the British public wakes up and asks, "Why are we paying for this?" Because the silence of Kate Middleton is not just a personal tragedy, it is an existential threat to the 1,000-year-old institution she married into. If she does not return to her duties, if she is permanently sidelined by illness, the royal family loses its most potent weapon. They lose the only person who can connect with the modern world. William is too stiff, too aristocratic, too weighed down by duty. Charles is aging and unpopular. Camilla will never be fully accepted. Kate was the bridge between the past and the future. She was the one who made the monarchy look like it belonged in the 21st century. Without her, the institution looks like exactly what it is. An outdated, expensive relic of a bygone era, staffed by people who are out of touch with reality. And so, the palace continues to hide her. They continue to spin lies. They continue to hope that the public will eventually lose interest and move on to the next shiny object. But they underestimate the power of silence. The silence is deafening. It is echoing through the halls of Buckingham Palace, through the streets of London, and across the internet. It is a silence that speaks volumes about the cruelty of an institution that values its own survival above the health and happiness of the people who sustain it. The darkest secret of the royal family is not what is hidden in the vaults or what is written in the secret wills. The darkest secret is the human cost of the crown. The toll it takes on the people who wear it. And Kate Middleton is paying that toll right now. She is paying it with her health, her privacy, and her peace of mind. The question is, how much more will she pay before the palace is forced to tell the truth? How much more can the institution take before it shatters completely? The silence will break eventually. It always does. And when it does, the fallout will be catastrophic. The palace knows it. The world is waiting for it. And the royal family is holding its breath, praying that they can keep the secret hidden just a little bit longer. But the clock is ticking, the public is demanding answers, and the Princess of Wales remains silent, locked away in a gilded cage, fighting a battle that the world is not allowed to see. What do you think the palace is really hiding? Do you think Kate's condition is worse than they are letting on, or is there a deeper, more sinister reason for her silence? Drop your theories in the comments below. If you believe the royal family is covering up a massive secret, hit that subscribe button right now. We are diving deep into the royal web of lies, and you need to be there when the truth finally comes out. Share this video with everyone you know. The world needs to know what is really happening behind the walls of Buckingham Palace. The truth cannot be silenced forever. Stay vigilant, stay curious, and keep demanding the truth.